Hi, this is Professor Earth, and I'm visiting Lake Tahoe because I'm worried about its climate future. I love Lake Tahoe. I used to go there all the time. 30 years ago when I had a Volkswagen van and I looked a little bit like this. This is my personal art collection, a drawing by Gilbert Shelton. I'm very proud of it. The real reason that I visited Lake Tahoe was the Caldor fire that happened back in 2021. This was a huge fire. It burned out of the Sierra Nevada, came down into the valley bottom, just missed South Lake Tahoe City, sent smoke all through the Lake Tahoe basin. Is this Lake Tahoe's climate future? So in July 2023, I went to Lake Tahoe. I took my science drone and I set up on a point, and the first thing I saw was dead trees. They'd been killed by drought and heat. The leaves, the needles were still on them, but they were dying in place. It was kind of a horrible sight. But I had the drone and I took off. I wanted to escape the burned trees and see the most beautiful thing in the world. I wanted to see Lake Tahoe. Okay, we've got the science drone up. We're flying along. We're headed south. We've got the Sierra Nevada on my left, the Carson Range on the right. We're going over Lake Tahoe, headed for Emerald Bay. We see South Lake Tahoe in the distance. And let's forget about the Caldor fire for just a second. Let's just enjoy ourselves. It's a beautiful day. It's time to enjoy this gorgeous scenery at Lake Tahoe. Here we are at last, Emerald Bay. Oh, wait, what's that thing over on the horizon there? Is that the Caldor fire? I can't stop thinking about these fires at Lake Tahoe. How much fire danger are we going to see in the climate future? Let's take the science drone. Let's take a close look. We'll fly north from Emerald Bay. Let's see how many trees we can see that are dead because of the heat and the drought. The silver trees, the brown trees, these are trees where the needles are dying, the tree is dying in place. And as I look down, there's a heck of a lot of these. I'd say there's between 5 and 10% here. And in places, maybe as much as 20% of all the trees have died in place because it's too hot and too dry for them to live. And when they die in place, they're like tinder. So all along the lake, we've got this problem. Well, let's go up above the lake. Let's go up the mountainsides above Lake Tahoe and look there. Do we see the same thing? And I hate to say it, I see more dead trees. The needles are brown, the trees are silver. There are whole stands of these up on the mountainside here. So again, these are areas where very susceptible to future fires. And we know that as the world gets hotter with global warming, and as we continue to dry out due to global warming, fire is a really significant danger, and it's a danger at Lake Tahoe. Now we know that there's lots of dead trees around Lake Tahoe. We know it's had the big fire just a couple of years ago, the Caldor fire. So it's going to have more fires. But isn't everywhere having fires? There's fires in Europe, there's fires in Hawaii, there's fires in Canada, there's fires in Alaska and Siberia. Is there anything special about Lake Tahoe that we should worry about? Well, unfortunately, yes, because Lake Tahoe is very close to the desert. And the boundary between the desert and the forests of California is quite close. It's only about 300 feet lower than the elevation of Lake Tahoe when you hit the first desert ecology, the first plant communities near Truckee, California. So you just have to raise that desert forest boundary a little bit, and you'll start killing trees, and you'll start getting drought conditions. You'll start having fires at Lake Tahoe. And that's what we've already got. Whoa, where'd that dog come from? Here, I'm out of battery. I've been flying over Emerald Bay. I gotta get the drone down on the ground, and some dog comes out of nowhere and starts trying to kill my drone. This is not a good thing. Nice doggy. Nice doggy. Go away, doggy. Shush. Get out of here, doggy. Oh, get away. Whoa, got that dog out of there and got that drone on the ground before the battery ran out. Okay, well, let's get back to talking about the ecotone, all this exciting stuff. So Lake Tahoe sits right there at the corner between Nevada and California. And it's surrounded by the Carson Range, and you can see kind of a brownish green area around the lake. That's the forest. And in Nevada to the right, the light brown, that's the desert. And the closest the desert gets to Lake Tahoe is up near Truckee, where it's only 300 feet below the level of current Lake Tahoe. Well, how quickly do these things move? Here's a recent study that's just been published this year, and they found that upper tree lines right now, due to global warming, are moving upwards at a rate between about 4 and 40 feet a year on average around the world. So we're talking about a lower tree line between the desert and the forest, but if it moves at a comparable rate, it could move up and it could put Lake Tahoe in the desert zone, in the desert community within decades. It could be there now already, and that's why the trees are dying. So it's going to look different than it looks now, Lake Tahoe, as we go into the future. We're probably going to have forest fires that'll remove the trees, and we're going to change it to a more desert-like environment, desert plant communities. So we kind of know what this is going to look like. It's going to look like Pyramid Lake in Nevada, where we already have a large lake. It's in a desert environment, and there are no trees. So here we're looking at Lake Tahoe's climate future. It's going to look something like this. Now, we don't know how long this is going to take. Climate change it's happening quickly. It could happen even quicker going into the future, but that's Lake Tahoe's climate future. So we sure as heck had better enjoy Lake Tahoe now. When the trees are there, it's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. We just love it. We don't want it to change, but it's going to change just like the world is changing, because global change is happening so fast right now.